up? Welcome to A2thaShow. It is
Hey,
me,
to the show with A to the Mo. What up, man?
A2thaMo, joined by Southern Comfort.
What's happening?
You know, after many technical issues, oh man, I don't have sunglasses on. Y'all are gonna see my super pink eyeballs.
Y'all get
But
to
it's
see
cool.
my windows that are across from me, doing a different location for those who pay attention.
Yeah, but look at the
So
lighting though. It looks so much
should be
better.
fun.
So
Yep,
yeah,
good lighting here.
let people see it. He's not as dark as you thought. God damn it.
Haha, fooled you.
He was a Mexican the whole time. All right, let's see what's happening in the world.
All my friends say that. That is an inside joke. And Mo's a friend. Internet.
What happens around here in Oklahoma is a lot of natives get called Mexican and they get real offended. And then you're like, but Mexicans are just Spanish and the natives that lived in Mexico. And like, I don't know. It just makes sense. Like, it's not even an insult. It's just so weird.
It shouldn't be as bad as they take it.
Yeah. It'd be like if someone was like, are you French? And you'd be like, oh, no, I'm English or whatever. Like, oh, you know, it's right there. It's right there.
Oh, it's so close.
Yeah,
It's
but
so
people
close.
get, I don't know, so worked up about it. Yeah, I told you I had to wrestle the laptop away from my wife. There's this new Sims-like game. It's an indie game. It's called Paralives, but it's someone that's like, we're gonna make the Sims we've always wanted because EA fucking sucks. That's the company that owns the Sims. And
Taking it to their own hands.
yeah, and she was like, could I play it? And I was like, well, I mean, I have a laptop you could use. So she's been really into that. And then I was like, hey, I actually got to take that laptop real quick. So can't go too long. She'll be jonesing, you know, for that goddamn.
That Sims is addictive, man.
Yeah, you get to make your guy. I always like trying to make me, you know, I'm not very good at it, but I have like a cartoon version of me I can make. You know, it's like I don't know, it's hard, like a little blonder, it's fatter. My face looks goofier, but like I don't know. It's just hard to make I thought my face is kind of plain, I guess. So it's kind of hard to make it in a game for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm not the best at it, but I try.
I never played The Sims, but I remember playing Sim City like crazy.
Oh yeah, SimCity's great.
Yeah, Super Nintendo.
Yeah, there's Sim City has quite the history. Eventually it became really shitty. By like SimCity 4, they like made this always online thing, and then you had to be online to play the game, and they kind of just ruined it.
Yep.
But then what happens
up.
is these mega corporations, they ruin the franchises or they just abandon them, and then some indie guy will come around and be like, I'm gonna make my own version.
It great again.
So that's what this Paralyzed thing is. But there's the SimCity version of that is a game called City Skylines, and there's a 1 and a 2, but it's just the best version of SimCity you'll ever play. You know, like, I mean, some guy just made it, you know, and it's fucking, I play it all the time. It's too addicting. I'm like, I got to make more roads. How can I, you know, make traffic efficient? You start getting obsessed with stupid ass shit like that.
I've got to do it for the city.
Yeah. The city needs me. Look at the congestion of the traffic here. It's like, oh no, noise pollution. Not in the rich neighborhoods. They pay they just pays us taxes.
Get that helicopter from out of the sky.
First thing I do though,
neighborhood, damn it.
At the beginning of the game, you can make marijuana legal, and I do like immediately. Nice. There's like a little thing. You get no pro or con, I don't think either way. It's just a preference, and so I'm like, yeah, everyone in my city smokes. That's what I say.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, and we also had some crazy storms, and recently, like I think a tornado hit a block away from me yesterday, like a mini one.
Oh shit!
Because here's what happened. So we had this big storm come in Oklahoma. We get crazy storms or whatever, and you know, there's just not a lot of like things to stop it. It's just all flat. You know what I mean? A storm comes, it'll fuck some shit up. And so anyway, it started raining real hard, and I have all these plants in my backyard, and I do this. I have a little greenhouse, like a tarp one, not like a real official one, but maybe someday I'll build me a real one. And
someday
I put my plants in there at night, and then typically sometime through the day I take them out and put them out in the sun. And it's not, I mean, they get sun in the greenhouse thing as well, but the reasoning is you don't want it to get moldy or mildewy up underneath the canopy, right? So you want to get some good air breeze in there. And I got these little fans in my greenhouse, but they have to charge. So at that time I bring them in and charge them, put my plants out in the sun. And I didn't know it was supposed to rain yesterday. And all of a sudden I'm like, what's that noise? And then I'm like, it's like an instant monsoon. Those happens. And there's like hail. And I was like, no, my plants. And I ran out there and and I carried them back in their greenhouse. And I mean, I was soaked. I had my jean shorts on. I just talked about was skinny. And they're fucking heavy as shit. You know, they're fucking dead. It's like weighing me down.
Jeans turn into fucking weighted clothing.
Yeah, and then I had to get naked on my fucking back porch because my clothes I was like, I can't wear this inside, you know? And so that was my evening yesterday. And then our power went out at about 5 o'clock, right before I was about to start dinner. And then it was out until 11:45. And I was like, I
That's
cannot go to
worse.
sleep until we have air conditioner. So I was just sitting in here. We watched the whole first season of Silicon Valley because I happened to have it on a USB
Oh,
drive.
USB drive.
And then I had a laptop, that had a full battery. It's like, all right, that's what we're doing to wait, kill time. And great first season of the show, by the way. So that was my last 24 hours. It was a good time.
I'm glad that 24 hours has ended and that you survived that whole
Yeah.
ordeal. That
I'm
shit
not,
sucked.
yeah. Honestly, like the tornado. Oh, and the reason why I said I think a tornado hit, I guess I never got to that part. When I went to go get dinner because I couldn't cook, so I had to go out and get food. I go up to like there's this main road. It's called Mississippi, is the name of the street, and it's funny because it always turns into a river when it rains because it like floods. So
Mississippi River. Nice.
yeah, and it's like they just don't have the proper drainage, and like dumb fucks will drive through it and ruin their cars. And I was going to be probably one of those dumb fucks yesterday. And so I was going to go to Chicken Express. I don't know if y'all have Chicken Express, and y'all probably have other better chicken
We probably
restaurants.
got a version of it.
Yeah.
That,
It's not great. I'm not gonna lie, but it's chicken. I like fried chicken well enough, and it really works. Is I can get bone-in chicken, my wife can get the tenders, and then we're both happy.
what it's all about, man.
That's right. And so I'm going there, and there's 3 cop cars blocking off the 4 lanes of Mississippi, and I'm like, if they weren't there in the middle, I could go right there. But they're blocking off the only roads that you could drive through.
That you could actually drive.
And then therefore you can't go on the other one because it is flooded. And so everyone just busted in fucking U's. And so I had to take another way, a back way, that's a block behind my house. And a tree had been ripped out and landed on this guy's car. And I was like, now I know high winds can do that, but that looked pretty tornadic to me,
Shit.
So who knows? I don't know. We haven't got the official word, but anyway, it was motherfucker yesterday. And I was out there protecting my plants during it. I was like, I can't. Hey, and the rain was going like this way and then this way and then this way. And you were like, oh no. And then the hell, it was little bitty hells, but they felt pretty good. All right, how's your life been, man? I know your album's finally done. I guess that's your big news.
It is, man. That's the biggest thing going on. Been listening to it, not really nonstop, but pretty much nonstop. Just kind of getting a feel for it. Been throwing out singles just to hear. A lot of times, and this, I'm preaching to the choir, but it sounds slightly different once it actually uploads.
Yeah.
So it just gives you a chance to see how everything's going, finalize and sound. So the goal is I'm gonna release stuff up until hopefully Father's Day, and then it'll be ready to upload. Putting in the data is the pain in the ass part.
Yep.
Like I just got to sit down and fucking put all that shit in. Make sure you got everybody's names right and it connects to the right stuff. I got features on here. I'm not really used to having features. My main feature is usually A2thaMo makes beats or A2thaMo. Bradster X, he already was in, I already had his info on file, so he was easy to do. But guys like Rico Reds, got to make sure I get his info right. Karma, I think I
probably
had
got
most
some
of her
that
info,
stuff.
so I was good. I feel you might have his stuff because y'all have done stuff as far as with your beat.
What gets confusing, and I know you don't do BMI, but that's only the only thing that's ever weird because most people have it underneath their real name. Not everyone. Some people still have their artist name. And then it's like you can just put their stuff and then you don't know who they're with and they'll try to go find it, but then that just takes long. So that's the part where I'm always like, just give me that stuff if y'all have it. But no one ever shares
if it exists.
Or whatever. Yeah.
So it's the number. What are the digits?
Yeah, exactly. Like I just need the
But no, that's it. Just, getting all the shit labeled basically so that it's ready to put out. And as you know, it's 24 songs, so that makes it take a while. If it was 10, I'd be done. But
dude, I've had so many times that like I go through it and say it was a 24 track album, and then I get to 23 and I'm like, that's all the songs. But like the way DistroKid works is you have to choose it in 4. You can't just be like, nix that last one. And then you have to be like, oh no, I forgot track 11. And then you have to make this decision like, does track 11 become the outro? Yeah. Or do I delete all of this?
Or do I delete it all?
Yeah. It fucking sucks. I've had it happen.
I've gone through that so many times, especially with Nasty's albums. All his are like 20 plus.
Yeah.
So you, like you said, you get down to the end and you're like, why am I out? And then you realize you skipped one or you put one in the wrong spot. And you just gotta eat it. Start over.
Yeah, it just is what it is. But yeah, music, my music numbers, I guess, are so down. I mean, not the numbers, but just like the monies, not to get too far in the business, but like the last,
it sucks since mid last year, I would say.
Right. It did. I mean, you're right. At that time there was a dip, but at least after that, it still felt kind of consistent. I would say like during this year, the last 5 to 6 months, it's been like, oh no, we've just decreased the amount we're paying by so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you're like,
that's what it
oh,
feels
okay.
like.
And maybe it is. I just not don't have the listers or whatever. But it is like, yeah, something happened. They fucked us somewhere in the back end. I feel like of all this stuff.
Yeah, and then didn't say anything about it because I knew it was gonna hurt more last year at some point when they made the whole you don't get credit until your first thousand
Yeah,
plays with Spotify. I was like, okay, that's gonna suck because like you off top lose 1,000 listens no
right.
matter what for every song. So I'm like, all right, that's gonna suck. But then like it just seemed like everywhere started doing shit. Like I don't know if they officially made similar rules or if it's just a lot lower, but like it's been lower payments from everywhere.
Yeah, and I think it's just how it's gonna go. I know I'm just always hating on AI, but I do think part of it is also AI. There's been so much AI music made, and so many
Yes.
people are like into it. Like they think it's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, this one was made by AI, and so like they're gonna get the listens. And they don't have to pay anybody. Or
Yep.
so
Just whatever company owns, whatever
yeah.
software
Have you
created it
seen
is just
you might
racking
have
in.
seen a little bit of this because it's, like, more popular on the black internet, if you will, of it's, like, AI songs that, like, old black women love, and so people are, like, in the back seat recording their mom or grandma listening to this one AI song where it's like, "Strong black woman, and you built the country, and we do it right." It's just, like, all the most vague, like, positive things about black women, and then they'll be
Yeah.
like, "Uh-huh," and they're, like,
You
fucking into it, man,
you could
it's
tell they
so
just
funny.
inputted what would make this type of person like this
Yeah. And it's
and
all
just spit
so
it
vague.
out.
And it's like, I don't know. I know something I've been harping on for years now is like, mainly because my wife's an English teacher, so she sees it through reading. And then I'm like kind of obsessed with TV shows, as me and we talk about them all the time. And like people are bad
Yep.
at that too. Like no one has any literacy, like media literacy. They just, they don't value art in a way that like I thought we were all supposed to or either. Like, you know what I
Not
mean? It's
even
like,
close.
it's just there's just a new wave, right? Where it's just like people are like, I don't care. This makes me happy, and that's fine.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's just that it's that simple. Whereas, and I feel like I'm judging stuff on like so many more layers that maybe I shouldn't be, but I am or whatever. Or like this new thing about Ivy League's college students can't read a whole book. Like their professors are like giving these interviews, like this is like Harvard, and a kid cannot read a whole book because they're like, I'll just read excerpts. Like they just don't have the attention span for it, and so maybe it's just the way it's going. But as far as the
We
music stuff,
we
I
created
feel
a
like we just
scary
gotta
world, man.
make TikTok videos, and I know it sucks, um, but I
I
feel
know
like that is
because I
the
fell
only
off.
way to get any traction of a new song.
I gotta I don't know. I gotta find a formula and get back on. I can't bring myself to just be on it like that.
Right.
Like, but if I can like make a template, you know what I mean, and just put different songs and make the template work,
Well,
I'll do that. But
I mean, I'm
me
just saying this
like
is
being on there
experience as
constantly, just
me as a
yeah,
listener of music, and a user of TikTok. The time it is cool is like I'm getting too much into the fucking EDM shit, right? Because
yeah,
they're good these days, and their videos. It's just a guy at a turntable and like a whole crowd behind him, and a fucking dope song is playing, and you're like, well, I'll fucking stick around, and then it drops, and everyone goes crazy, and you're like, hey, that was pretty fucking good, And then if it's a rapper,
satisfaction.
it's gonna be a guy like rapping in his car or sitting here
Yep.
in front of his computer and very minimal cuts, but they're trying to like they're somehow charismatic even with the way they're rapping, and you're like, that's pretty, I like that guy or whatever. But then it goes the other way. Sometimes it's like what's his name, Budman, and he's like kind of a fat white guy like me, and I just can't stand it. I'm like, I think but a lot of it's because he leaves his breaths in, and I am very, you're right, he's like all the time, and I just so judgmental of it for some reason.
Was it recently you said that's why you couldn't stand Big Pun
Yeah,
because you could hear
same
his
thing.
breath?
Mhm. I just think there's especially now that I've done stuff, like you can at least go in there and turn them down, because I agree sometimes if you completely cut them all the way, it does sound awkward.
Yeah, yeah. It
But you
takes some
can
away.
drop them pretty low to where it's not so harsh on people's ears and stuff. Um, it takes work. I mean, it takes time to go do that shit. And then they have so many AI tools now in music production too, where everything kind of starts sounding the same. So I do think when something just sounds
Yeah.
different, like I heard a guy the other day and his voice just sounded so different. It was like all low and had all this weird distortion on it. And I was like, well, that's cool. I mean, at least he sounds fucking different than other people I've heard. So
Yeah,
anyway,
sometimes it's especially with certain genres of music, like it just can't be too clean. For me anyway. Like I
right.
know some people just love it as clean as possible. Like sometimes when it's too clean, it's like, all right, well, this doesn't even feel. I can't even feel, what I feel like I should be feeling.
Right. I agree. We also grew up. I was explaining to a guy I work with. When I got into Napster and downloading stuff like that, and I had a little iPod, I was putting songs on. Yes, I did like the songs I loved to be at 320 kilobytes MP3, like a good quality one. But in general, give me the lowest quality or a pretty low quality. I don't know if I'd go 128, but at least 160. And I'd be like, I could put way more songs on it if they're lower
Hmm.
quality. It's like that was important to me at the time. Like I didn't care.
Just like with
So
VHS tapes, man. Give me the old SLP. I
yeah,
know it doesn't look as good, but I need to have like 12 episodes of Monday Night Raw on
right.
one videotape, and that's the only way I'm
Exactly.
going to make it work.
That's the stuff we did now. I'm just going online buying hard drives all the time, and I'm like, I good because I'm so not scared necessarily, but I don't want to go out of my way to go refine and download stuff that I'm like,
Yeah,
all right, I have to have a million flash drives and, and hard drives where I can like stash this stuff so that when I need it, I can just go find it as opposed to
got to be available, man.
yeah, it's
I,
called digital
I was
hoarding.
I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was like, they got like 300 DVDs that she was like, do I want them? Because they're done. Like they're not going to be using them, and
Right,
they're on the streaming. They don't even have DVD players in the house. And I was like, yeah, bring them. I was like, I still got one functional DVD player. I got a PlayStation. I'll make use of them. Shit, when the power goes out, we got no internet. Like that sucks. Or if the internet goes out, I guess the
right.
power goes out, you're screwed with DVDs too. But no internet and you lose all your shit.
Yeah, it is some bullshit. I boxed up my DVDs. I ripped all of them digitally to put them on hard drives, and then I boxed them up, and I'm like, we have them in case someone ever tries to be like, you steal that DVD, and I'm like, I didn't, sir, Mister
I own it
FBI.
right here,
I got them right here in the box. Um,
complete with the copyright warning at the beginning.
that's right. But it is crazy some of the how shitty some of the qualities are. So especially the ones that are like forced to be full screen. Like,
Oh
'cause there's certain
yeah,
DVDs like that,
yeah,
and then, like, when you rip them, you're like, "What the fuck? It looks so bad." It's like they squash them and all that. Um,
yeah. It's stuff that I remember like looking great for its time, and then you go to play it, like even just playing the DVD itself, and you're like, man, this looks kind of weird now.
yeah.
It's
Well,
like
we've gotten
you're
so
just so used
used
to the
to
quality now.
yeah. Well, it's also something different. It's the fact we don't use CRT TVs, which are the big back TVs. Those
Hmm.
things could do 1080p. Like if something was available at that, like the way they done scan lines, like they didn't have a max resolution like our modern TVs do. So there are times you would have saw something that looked really good, but now that like that's saved on some shitty quality, and then you're watching it on a modern TV, it does look worse. It's kind of like
Yeah,
a lot of video games. Old stuff you play on new TVs, they don't look good. You're like, God, I remember them looking way better. But so when you play on a CRT, it rounds all the pixels. Like,
yeah.
and so it
Got that
does look
bubble.
better, you're playing the old shit. So,
Did you ever, speaking of this, like old guy shit, but did you ever like hold a magnifying glass up to like the old TVs and like see the individual color bars?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. I used to just get right
Like,
up on it with my eyeball.
yeah, and you can see it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you didn't even need a magnifying glass. But yeah, that's just, I don't know. That's one of those things that like still kind of fucking cool.
I also have I know I'm trying to know with more than just this, but I remember this one so much. I recorded the whole movie, the Three Ninjas Knuckle Up, which is the worst Three Ninjas. No, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
it
It's
is.
the
I was about to
worst
say,
of the trilogy, but they made it a
yeah,
fourth one that's way worse.
that's way worse. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. But I
But kick
remember
back in the original,
I
I'm
had
with.
a little microphone held up to the TV, and I was like, I'm just going to record this whole movie on this cassette tape of audio, and then I'll just have
Nice.
that. I was like, so stupid, but I have a memory of doing it.
But at the time, it didn't feel stupid.
Yeah, I feel
At
like
the
because I
time,
was
it was like,
renting
this
it,
is cool.
and it was like, well, I'm renting it, so when I can listen to it later, I can remember what was happening in the movie.
You made
Uh,
yourself a movie to audio book.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty good. But yeah, that was the
It was
Native
the
American
future
one,
during
and
the past.
it's not bad. It's just the first one's a classic, and the one in Japan's so good. The one in Japan's the
Yeah.
best one. Kickback. Um,
Yeah, Kickback was awesome. But the first one is a classic just because it introduced you to it, and you really got to love the characters by the end.
yeah, one has the most quotable lines. The like, Rocky loves
Rocky loves
Emily. Yeah,
Emily.
that's what you always think of.
Like, that's the one. If you don't remember that one, you don't remember shit.
And I
That's
feel
the
like
one.
they were the first one to do the like, we got the cans from a bedroom to bedroom over the fence sort of thing,
with the
or
string.
whatever they had the communications. Where I feel like then every cartoon had that afterwards. It was like, yeah, neighbors always had a thing
Yep.
called that. But anyway, shout out that shit. All right, let's do
Three
something
ninjas.
random on my list here, so I feel
Let's
like I'm
go.
doing something. I think Trump's too old to be president, and I think
Yeah, he's
Biden
looking more
was too.
senile every day.
And I just am like, it's so funny how, and I guess it's more of a compliment to Republicans, right, or their voting base. Those motherfuckers get loud about shit.
Yeah.
They make a big deal about it. Democrats are just pussies, and
Yep.
they will not bitch enough about how. I mean, even if they do, the Republicans don't care. I guess maybe it's that in the other way, like the Democrats shouldn't have cared when the Trump people were saying. I don't know. Either way, it's like the way each side handles it is outrageous. It's just like they're clearly old men that we shouldn't be electing all these old people that are obviously being ran by other governments.
And then you say it all the time, like when it's their side, they don't see they don't see what they see when it's the other side.
Yeah. Listen,
Like
Donald Trump has
nobody who
done
would have talked about
nothing he
Biden
talked
being
about.
old. Nope, not one. And everybody has a reason or an excuse.
They'll be like, we got to go to war with Iran. And it's like, you just were against it 3 years ago or whatever. So, yeah, I just think that's what. Also, Trump's going to ruin the New York Knicks game 3. I know we talk a lot of sports, but we might have a little bit on here. And I think it's interesting. So, like, the New York Knicks are playing the San Antonio Spurs in the NBA Finals. New York is up 2-0 going back to New York, so they could get a sweep. Who knows? We'll see. But Trump's like, yeah, I want to go to game 3. I'm friends with James Dolan, the guy that owns the team, and I'm going to be at game 3. So now everyone has to get there like 2 hours early if they want to go to the game because they got to get security check, extra security. No one can bring a bag into the game. There is no more watch parties outside the arena, which, has been like, he's just ruining the whole night. And I'm like, at what point, and I guess it's the owner of the Knicks would have to say no, but you're ruining it all for everyone else for this one guy. It's such snowflake shit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't like it. And I know he shows up to like college football games. He's just in a press box and he waves and everyone boos him or cheers wherever he's at, depending where he's at. And just do that. Like, you shouldn't be down on a fucking floor seat or whatever. Like, this is gonna. So as a basketball fan, I'm just like, why are you fucking this up? I feel bad for the Knicks fans, and they kind of suck. And you're making me feel bad for them.
Don't do that.
Also, I like the Spurs losing, though, but of course, I mean, there's probably the one of them to win, so they're like, well, they beat the Thunder, and then they went on to win. But then there's another more petty part of me that's like, yeah, fuck Victor Wembanyama, and I'm glad to see you get your ass beat. So, I'm riding both.
Not
of
a
those
fan.
thoughts. Yeah,
not a fan.
I'm a sports hater, at least, and he just cries too much. It's pussy ass French behavior that all of a sudden people are into, and I don't get it. All right, here's another random one since we're a little bit past it, but I had it on my list and I didn't record yet last week. Our parents, and this actually very accurate, are parents actually really proud of their kids when they graduate? Anything high school and lower?
I think they're just happy to get that it's over with and that they don't have to do shit anymore. I think it's more that than proud, honestly.
Right, but that's the word they use. They'll go,
yeah, that's the word they get.
Exactly. To me, that's what expected spirit, because that's what I was telling my wife when I was thinking about it. I was like, I think you should be disappointed if your kid doesn't graduate high school.
100%.
I do not think you should be proud that they did what like 90% of the kids are expected to do. Like, that's just what I don't know. I think proud's the wrong word. I understand my mom being proud of me for graduating college, but even then,
you can be excited for it. Like, I'm not mad at the excitement.
I didn't do shit to graduate college except I just stuck it out. You know what I mean? He was like, I just never left, and then eventually I graduated. And so it really wasn't that big of an accomplishment. And then it gets even crazier. We're like, I'm so proud of this boy. He graduated 8th grade. I saw one of those 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I mean, come on. All you got to do is go to fucking class in 8th grade. They pass you to not. Like, it's not. I don't know. This is crazy. It's crazy. And I guess it's just parents need to be on social media and needing to like prove they're a good parent or something.
That's a good point too, because I think it's always been that way. It's just way more social now. Like, now everybody's doing it and you can see it, and it's like, all right, guys. Like, it's like the first day of school thing. Like, all right, everybody's got a first day. Like, they don't have to have a first day every year where it's like super special. Like,
right.
Before social media, it wasn't like that. First day of school was just, you had to go to school. Yeah. Like, I don't think my mom ever took a picture of me on my first day of school.
Well, everything's like, also just so different. And the way school is, like, clothes don't matter now like they used to, which I think is crazy. Like, before, a week before school, I had my whole first week of clothes laid out. Yep. I was like, on this day I'm wearing this, and then I'm wearing this, and then I'm wearing this, and then you went like, you just knew.
Figured out how to mix and match it so that it doesn't look like the same outfit.
And then
the next week and the next week.
Maybe by like week 3, you're like, all right, I can't care about this every day, but like, you're pretty excited at first. And now kids like first day are in gym shorts and fucking old ass V-neck stretched out shirt that don't look good at all. Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, this is crazy.
Like me and my wife were just talking about like as guys, like it's all about the shirt. Like you can wear the same pants, over and over, same 2 pair of pants. You just got to make sure you switch your shirt game up. As long as nobody notices the shirt too often, you're good.
Yeah,
but you can't wear a shirt 2 days in a row. But I can rock the same pair of jeans twice, and nobody would notice.
I have rocked. What happens to me lately is so like I have work clothes, and then I come home. I'm like, I'll just throw on this t-shirt, but then that t-shirt can get worn a few days in a row because I'm just at home. Who cares? But then it'll like turn into a Saturday. I'm being lazy. I throw it on, but then something happens. And now I'm out in the world in a shirt I've worn like 5 days in a row. And I'm like, oh my God. And I feel so stupid.
I'm like that with hoodies and sweatpants. Like it'll be like, oh, I really shouldn't leave the house in this, but I got to leave the house now. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to keep these on.
We got this one old ass chair in the bedroom, and that becomes like just all my clothes that I don't think are dirty yet. And my wife's like, just throw them on the hammer. Like they're not dirty yet. And then we have this argument. And
this is my quick grab pile.
Yeah. It's even like just the touch on the laundry thing, my complain about spouse thing. I will pull a hand towel out to like dry off my hands in the kitchen, and I'll set it on the counter because I literally just use it once. And I will come back to the kitchen and it's gone. And it's put in the hamper, and I'm like, I used it one time, and she's like, well, it was on the counter. And so like, I'm like, that's why we're doing so many towels all the time. Because you only allow me to wipe my hands once with this thing.
Yeah. No, you got to let stuff it's got to be used.
That's what I say.
At least a week. More than that, and I can have a negotiation on whether or not we should.
But we are like it on towels too.
How much it's used.
I use 2. I'll make 2 towels last me all week for the most part, like the work week. Yeah. And then to her, it's like, I get like a new towel every time. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. That's mine too. Like we wash a whole load of every towel in the house.
Yeah.
Like it feels like once a day.
I'm like, you dried off a clean body that you clean with soap. That towel is not dirty. That's like my mind wig.
It's like, nope, got to use another one. It's like, all right, I'm just going to keep, like, I literally keep my own, like, private towel and washcloths. I'm like, I'm going to wash these so often when they need to be, and you can just keep recycling through the rest. That way I never have to worry about being out of something. And I don't have to get it out.
And that's something, we have our own. Like, the black towels are mine, and then the striped ones are hers.
I'm like, if it's got colorfulness, then it's all yours.
Exactly.
Have at it.
That's what we did. We're very gender confirming here or whatever.
That's what we do.
All right, we gotta play a song. We talk way too long. First song we're going with is gonna be from Sir Nasty.
The Sir.
Now I couldn't find this one on Spotify, or at first I couldn't because it wasn't on Life of a Legend 2, and I was like, is this sample really that thing? But then it was as a single, so that's where I found it at. So
that was one where they rejected it, and then I came back and argued it, and they were like, okay,
nice.
Yeah, that was when you gave me the great argument to use, which I think I've had to use it a couple times on my album of, hey, this might be a melody that was a free pack. I don't know, but it's mine.
Yeah.
Like the whole song ain't from nobody. Like, stop saying that shit. But anyway.
Hell yeah. Well, hey, whatever fucking works, I say.
Yeah, I try to push it through. Whatever I got to do, man.
But all right, we're going to listen to this one. I told her, Sir Nasty. Let's give it a listen.
Let's go.
That moonshine strong as a motherfucker, boy. Yeah. I told that young bitch, don't play with me, don't play with me. I'm a G for real. You want a gangster in your life, you not wife, let be for real. I told you, I like you, I don't trust you, let be for real. And you still let me fuck, so fuck you, let's be for real. I told you, it ain't nothing, don't say nothing, let be for real. You signed up for this bullshit, no bullshit, let be for real. You fell in love with a gothic thug like most girls, let's be for real. Own up to your bullshit though, you a hoe, let be for real. I told her that I bang black, bang black, bang. And I'm a gangster, you can't change that, change that, change. She no bitch niggas and I ain't that, ain't that, ain't. And I never bow down, but why would she think that? She ever think? See, I told her that I bang black, bang black, bang. And And I'm a gangster, you can't change that. Change that. She no bitch niggas and I ain't that. And I never bow down, but why would she think that? Would she ever think that I told her that I bang black. And I'm a gangster, you can't change that. She no bitch niggas and I ain't that. And I never bow down, but why would she think that? I told that young bitch, don't play with me. You can't play with me, let's be for real. Asking me for money, bitch, I'm like, bitch, let's be for real. Every time I met you, bitch, you had a nigga, let's be for real. All you was entertainment for a nigga, let's be for real. All you do is go out and shake your ass, let's be for real. And you ain't ready for a real life with a real nigga, let's be for real. I told you, I was not a wimp, you need a simp, let's be for real. My cousin said, what's up, pimp? Better tell them hoes, let's be for real. I told her that I bang black. And I'm a gangster, you can't change that. She no bitch niggas and I ain't that. And I never bow down, but why would she think that? See, I told her that I bang black. And I'm a gangster, you can't change that. She no bitch niggas and I ain't that. And I never bow down, but why would she think that? See, I told her that I bang black. And I'm a gangster, you can't change that. She no bitch niggas and I ain't that. And I never bow down, but why would she think that? Would she ever think that See, you be caking up with these bitches. I be waking up with these bitches. And I don't fuss with now, ho. I be breaking up with these bitches. I told that young bitch I'm Jason Voorhees, bitch. Let's be for real. Black mask, Count Crystal Lake, bitch. Let's be for real. Don't play with me, don't play with me. I'm an OG. Let's be for real. I do this shit for real, bitch. Let's be for real. Go. Let's be for real. And that's what I told her. One time for the OGs, one time for my young niggas out here dealing with these women. I say what you can't say or what you want to say. And if they don't like it, fuck them.
Sir Nasty.
I bang black.
I told her.
I gotta say, as a fan, not even speaking as somebody that just knows him, but just as a fan of the music, that album's grown on me a lot more because of how different his vocals were for that album and him having an album right before it that I enjoyed a lot. It was tough for me to get into that one. But the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, you know what? I can get past the COVID vocals. And I get what he was saying about, because it's certain things he didn't do because he wanted people to know that, hey bitches, I did this for y'all. I recorded when I shouldn't have been so I could make a deadline, that kind of shit. But I wasn't into it at first. But the songs are really good, and I've grown to like it more and more every time I hear it.
Nice. Yeah, I like I know they're mostly my beats, but he still selected out of a bunch of other beats, So I think like the beats he selected made for like a more fun album for The Life of Legend 2 compared to the first one. And so I think I could see like where it's a little different there. But on that, I think he did really good just switching up the style to match the beat, and all that.
For sure.
I think it worked really well. But yeah, Sir Nasty's always killing it. And then the next Friday the 13th isn't until like November. So he's got a little time to let it
through. I don't know for sure yet because he's got a lot of time to change his mind, record other shit. I think he's doing Jason Gang Part 2 for that one, but we'll see once the day rolls around because he still has not stopped recording. So I'm pretty sure he's going to have a couple albums to choose from.
Nice.
By the time that date comes.
Yeah, I got to get back to my graveyard packs. I haven't packed with those in a while, but I just haven't had time to do anything. It's one of those things, but I should this summer have a little time to fuck around with some shit. So we'll see. See what happens.
You took on a new job role too, right? New position.
I'm not happy about it, but I did.
It's what's funny about it is because I listened to the podcast, so I was hearing you talk about getting that. And around the same time, like I've recently switched positions too at my job, and it's kind of the same thing where I'm like, I'm doing something that I know way less about, so I'm having to do like a lot more training and it actually occupies my time a lot more than my
Right.
old position. So like, basically, I feel you. I was like, holy shit, both going through the same shit at about the
Yeah.
same time. I thought that was interesting.
What's crazy is I mean, I probably shouldn't have us here, but I'm going to anyway. They didn't find anyone qualified for the position. And at first,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I don't want it. We need someone good around here. And then they couldn't find anyone. I go, well, if you're going to hire someone that fucking sucks, that doesn't know, then I mean, I guess I would be interested. And they're like, all right, we'll do. And then they talk a big game, like, we're going to help you do this, this, and this. But then, like, immediately it's like, all right, well, we're behind. You're like,
You just
well,
left.
what happened to
You
all
just left
that
to the Sharks.
kindness of we're going to be slow and no stress? Yeah, I don't know. And so it'll be fine, but it maybe it won't be. I don't fucking know. But it is like annoying in some way, you know. But I'm trying to be positive at work. And that's the other thing is like, I had my last job just really down, you know, packed, but because I could also be kind of an asshole to people because I'm like, nope, not my job. And, you know, I kind of took that attitude on. So now I'm like trying to be helpful. And then people are not gonna be like, oh, you're being all weird. I'm like, I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
what's
be
going
fucking
on here?
nice. You fucking assholes. And so it's just gonna, you know, just changing my whole life sucks, you know. And luckily the dog has gotten pretty good because at first, you know, that was a big life change. And I mean, it was like, it's fine, but it's just like, I don't have time for anything because I'm always looking at this, you know, taking care of this dog or whatever. But she's starting to chill out a little bit. You know, she's getting a little older.
Calming down.
She's calming down a little bit. She's gotten all of her vaccines. We'll have to get her spayed in a few months. I'm honest, I'll wait as long as we can, because I feel bad having dogs do surgeries. And anytime I've ever had a
Bob
dog,
Barker that always said spay and neuter your dog
Yeah,
or some weird shit
correct.
like that.
Yes,
Yeah, I thought
and you
so.
should, because there's
I
so
can't
many.
hear that without thinking of
Yeah.
that for some reason. Anytime I hear spade or
But
neuter.
every dog I've ever had spayed has come back with a different personality. Not necessarily neutered. I've had dogs lose their balls and they still act the same. People act like that's the one that really affects them. So I'm like, well, let's keep her, you know, happy as long as possible. They don't get non-happy. They just, I think female dogs get a lot more calm when they after they get spayed. And I know that is
The
good,
change.
but you're also like, let her enjoy her puppyhood, you know.
Let her enjoy her wild oats.
Yeah,
before
she's
you
up
sew
there
them all up.
every day. She's eating sticks in the backyard. Just I can't get her to stop. So I'm like, wow, and it's because she's like, they lose their puppy teeth and get adult teeth, and you know that's why she's doing it. But it's like not
Like a
even
new
worth
toy.
fighting. Yeah, not even worth fighting. All right, I don't have hardly any TV shows, but since we always talk about when you're here, I'm going to talk about. I've only really watched one TV show, which is crazy.
I
But
don't
we
have
just
much, but I do got a few.
we don't do much. So yeah, go ahead. Start with your first one.
All right, I'm gonna start with a movie. You know, I throw movies in too, but we did watch the new Scream movie that came out. I think at the beginning of May, something like that.
I used to
But,
have on my
it
list, but I
finally-
never talked about it because no one was ever on here to talk about Scream with. But I was like, I don't understand how this shit's so popular. Who gives a fuck about Scream? And why do people act like it's Jason or Freddy or anything? Like to me, it's not even close. It's only popular because Scary Movie made fun of it really well. Like that's
It
how
did
I
make fun
view
of it really
Scream.
well.
So anyway, go on.
It
I'm sure you're a fan.
definitely it gave it. No, you're right. Scary Movie gave it new life. Now, and it's one of those movies that, like, well, I guess a lot of horror movies, when you go past 3, like usually you have a good beginning, a okay middle, and then like if they come back, usually it's way better. At least most horror movies I watched have been that way. But that's how these Screams were. Like, if this is the last one, it's a good last. The last 3 have been all right as far as just what they are. You know, they're, I don't know, Scream. It's not really a scary movie. Like, you don't get jump scared or anything like that. But it's a slasher. I guess a killer movie.
Right. It's
But
a slasher. I
I don't know.
believe.
It's just that, it just doesn't fit horror for me.
Yeah.
But I watched it. I enjoyed it. Of course, the twist. Well, nobody's gonna care. But the twist is they use AI to do shit. I would have preferred it if it wasn't AI, and that's what was really going on. Like, you're making the movie, you can just make it be that without having to be this stupid AI thing. Like, I would have preferred he just be back. And that, like, is the big twist. To me, that would have been a way cooler shit. Like, that actually made the movie come down for me once I learned he wasn't still alive and shit. So
Yeah,
other
but it's the
than that,
dangers of
I did
AI.
not
It's of
enjoy
the
it.
moment.
Yeah, exactly. They just had to do that.
Well, I
was
saw,
like, man,
I had 2 or 3 people on my Facebook friends that saw an early screening of it. And so that's when I put it on my list. I'm like, who gives a fuck about Scream to see an early screen? This is crazy.
early. Yeah, I wouldn't even see it in theaters. I waited till it came to Paramount, and I was like, I'll watch it when it comes to that. I didn't even pay for it. Well, I paid for Paramount, so I guess
Something I did
kinda
have on
paid for it.
my list, so since we brought up Scary Movie, I'll say it here, is I did wanna go see Scary Movie 6. I think it came out this weekend, I'm not
Yeah,
positive, but I
it
don't
did. It came out
watch
Friday.
any scary movies now, so I'm not gonna be real familiar with what they're parodying, and
I
so, like,
think you
that's
will be though.
okay.
Because I think they're doing the top tier. So like it'll be shit you like about Get Out,
Yeah, I mean,
even
I
if you
saw
never
Get
saw
Out.
Get
Yeah,
Out,
I did. I
and you
saw it.
saw it. You
Yeah.
know about Sinners, even if you didn't see Sinners. Like they're doing like the big like Oscar, not necessarily Oscar because most scary movies ain't Oscar worthy, but
Yeah.
they're doing the big
Sinners
shit,
is the only
and
one,
then
yeah.
they're doing their stick. So I
Yeah.
mean, I think you would still get it
I'm
for the
sure
most part.
I really like Anna Faris. She's one of my favorite, comedic actors or actors or whatever,
At
and
try.
yeah, so I would, and I mean, Regina Hall's great too, and the Wayans brothers are good. I think the Wayans brothers are not, Marlon, is he the I can't remember which one's Marlon, which one's Sean. Marlon's the younger one, right? That's in, like,
Yeah,
in more stuff,
yeah.
yeah. Uh,
No, it's kind
he's
of the
gotten
more
kind of odd in
goes
different
more serious.
interviews these days, but, so yeah, Scary Movie 6, I am curious about. What else you got on your list?
All right. So also, and this kind of relates to the talk you had with H2. I recently did a free subscription for Shudder that ended up turning to like an extra 30 days. So I'm on Tales from the Crypt, and I'm just rewatching that series. I enjoy it. I enjoy it just as much as I did when I was younger. I was telling my wife and kids like I don't know. I guess it's just part of being a kid, but like that fucking opening was way scarier than the show to me when I was younger. Like
That's all I
I
remember
can
is the
still
opening. I don't
remember.
remember one episode, but I
Yeah,
remember
like
the
the episodes are like very blurry, but like that opening, I'm like, I remember being up late. It's always dark because it was like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, which might as well have been 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning when you're that young. But like, I just remember like it going through that scary ass tunnel and all that shit, and just like, I remember my heart being tight, waiting for that fucking casket to open up. Like now it's nothing, but like back then, like I was genuinely scared of that shit.
yeah, for me in that era, Tales from the Crypt, my older cousins really liked it. And so I knew it was a big deal because of that, but I'd never watched it with them and been like, this is awesome. I was always like, I don't know. I just didn't really care that much one way or the other, you know?
I also
And
didn't realize it
so,
had that much sex in it in person. Like I guess it was HBO, so that does kind of make sense now.
right.
But I don't remember that being part
And
of
maybe
it at
that's why the
all.
older cousins liked it so much. And I just was kind of checked out because I've never really liked scary movie stuff. That's never been my thing. Um, I don't know why. I mean, it just doesn't attract me necessarily. Like a good thriller, and even if it's a little horse, sure. You know, I can get into that, but yeah. All right, the only thing on my list that's a real TV show, then I have a couple of YouTube stuff that I do watch a lot of in case I didn't talk about it. Apple TV show called Your Friends and Neighbors, season 2. I think we got 1 or 2 episodes left until the season's over. This has John Hamm, who from Mad Men fame, people that don't know. And the first season I really liked a lot. Talked about it on here. He's like a rich hedge fund guy that loses his job because some chick hooks up with him. Like some chick goes out of her way to flirt with him, hook up with him, and then get me to him to get him fired. You know, like
Oh,
that's like the start of it. And then he loses his job, and then he starts robbing his friends and neighbors who are rich people to like pay the
nice.
bills, you know, and he's like works with this cleaning lady that can get in and stuff. So like I think it's very fun the first season. And there's also like murder and like an investigate. Like there's all this, it's good first season. The second season I was kind of surprised they were doing it because I was like, oh, I think the first season was a really good like mini series, if they would have kept it at that.
Yeah, just let it in.
And then I would say it wasn't until like episode 5 or 6 of season 2 that I was like, oh, this is good. It took me a long time to get there. And even so, I do think the first how many episodes are just like whatever, but also he's not really robbing people anymore. Like the show genre has kind of changed a little bit in the second
Yeah,
season. I'm still
he's moved beyond
interested
it.
and I'm like, I'm going to watch it all or whatever, but there is a little bit of part of me. It's like, it's just not as good as season 1. That is
It's like
my
when Breaking
thoughts.
Bad had that period where like it's like, oh, you're not cooking meth right now. You're doing other things.
Yeah. It's like, we're here
Like,
for the meth, guys. Come
go
on.
back to cooking meth.
Yeah.
That was the show's bread and butter.
All right, what do you got next?
All right, so this one I'm gonna combine these two, but the roast of Kevin Hart and then his funny AF show, which I know you talked about both of them on
Yep.
the podcast. I didn't have a problem with either one of them. The comics definitely, and me somehow to me, you talk about this shit. I feel like we talked about it, but I might have just been talking to you
through the
through the
podcast.
podcast, even though you can't hear me. But I think I was like agreeing with you that like it seemed like they were doing like a almost like a DIE thing.
Yeah.
That was called when they do
DEI.
diversity hires, or
DEI,
DEI, whatever the fuck it is. But yeah, it felt like they were doing that with a lot of the rounds. It was like, oh, okay, we got to have somebody black, somebody white, somebody of a different race, because a lot of times I'm like, it shouldn't have hashed out that way. Like a lot of times, it's like, okay, y'all should have went all black or all white, or like
Yeah.
they were just letting people through to be fair to the,
Yeah. I mean,
diversity
it completely
of it,
comes
which-
across that way. I think with the Funny AF show, because I have a show on my list I was going to talk about that's a YouTube show that's a better version of it. It's too polished and
Too
it's
polished,
too
yeah.
produced. And it's like, and it really, I think what really sets a bad precedent is Keegan Michael Key being in the first episode, and he's not a stand-up. First off, he's never done stand-up comedy. He is a sketch comedy. And then he's overly laughing at every joke everyone tells. And it seems so fucking fake and weird that it just took me out of it immediately. And then
his episodes were weird.
there was like, and so certain comics I respected, some I didn't. Even like Tom Segura, who I like, the way it was cut and stuff, it was like, I don't know, it didn't seem authentic. It just all seemed fake. Everything about it seemed fake. None of it seemed real.
Yeah.
None of it seemed like anyone's real opinion. I think they definitely had certain people in mind for the end, before it happened. So
I definitely had like way more people who didn't make it who I thought should make it than I would like. Like usually on shows like that, like it might be one or two where I'm like, oh, that person really should have made it to the end. But on this one, I was like, every round, I was like, nope, that person should have made it. That person, like,
and I think
they weren't picking the funniest person to me.
Threw me off is like in the first 3 episodes, or how many are like the auditions.
Yeah.
There were many jokes that I've heard before. Like they rather stole them, or it was a Facebook meme joke that they used, or maybe I saw a clip of them doing it previously. That's always a chance. But there was a lot of jokes. Michael, that's not original. I've heard that a million times. So there was some about that as well.
Now I will say and I still like think about this one. That's how I gauge how good it was. The Indian guy's joke about how waking up is just the gayest thing you can do.
Yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
The Indian guy was good. The one from Texas.
Yeah, he was good the whole way through. Like he deserved, like, because at first I thought he was like a DEI thing too. I was like, okay, they just keep letting him through. But like as it went on, I was like, no, he deserves it. He really deserves it.
Yeah. And then the roast, I mean, I think all the talk afterwards has been interesting.
They kind of ruined it with all the talk after to me. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if they would have just took it at face value as a roast, I would have been fine. Like I said,
I think what I have a problem with is that like the talk afterwards will be like, all these jokes had to involve race. They can't be funny without race. But some of those black comics looked at the white people and like was like, look like they own slaves, or look. I mean, what, they're using the race also to make the joke. Like that's just part of it. That's
it's always been there. And like, because I went back just because I was in a roast mood after that. I just went back and watched other roasts, and like shit like that is genuinely there most of the time, like in general.
Well, and I think it's not all those people on that stage were friends. The Kevin Hart one, there was like a couple different comedy groups together, but in general, you're like roasting friends. And like I have said some of the most racist stuff to Pow Wow, but he laughs at it because we're friends.
Because
you know what I mean? Like, and it comes from that place.
Yeah, it's less funny when you got like stranger comics.
Yeah,
on the non-comics.
I'm a huge fan of Shane Gillis, and I've said it before. I hate that I am, because that's like the most basic white guy comic to like. But I've liked him since his Gillian Keefe season 1, which is a sketch comedy thing, and then his stand-up comedy, also was blowing up, and he's just become the biggest thing. I'm like, I've just been a fan for a long time. He's literally he's my age. I think we have similar, like the way he even like fails at telling a joke is funny, which is a quality Conan O'Brien also has. That I think. I just enjoy someone who can like be bad, but then make it funny. I don't know. I think it's good.
Yeah, make it funny that they were bad. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think him and Chelsea Handler kind of going at it then and after has been really good. I don't know if you've seen this, but yeah, Chelsea Handler's been trying to talk shit. But also in the middle of the roast, he called out that she had dinner with Epstein and Prince Andrews on Epstein's Island, which is so good because it's like you can't come back from that. Like that happened. That's that's the thing. And then so she's saying all this stuff, and then his quote was like, "Hey, this is a big moment for Chelsea. Anything to get eyeballs on." He was like real backhanded about it. It was great, and so I've enjoyed a lot of it. Tony Hinchcliffe, the thing that was on my list that's like funny AF is there's a show called Kill Tony I talk about forever, and Tony Hinchcliffe hosts that show in which comics get 1 minute to do a minute of stand up, and they almost all suck, but every once in a while there's someone good, and then they interview them and make fun of them or whatever. And I watch it every week, and I'm like, I can't not watch it.
Yeah,
like,
you've been a champion of that show for a long time.
Yeah,
I think I only know about it because of you, and then it got, of course, once it got more popular,
right,
I started seeing it on other shit. But like I knew about it because of you.
Yeah, and so it's just a fun show, and so I like seeing people call him racist, but it's like all of his favorite, like half of his best friends are black, right? And same with Shane Gillis. Shane Gillis, like black people live in Shane Gillis's house, like his friends, right? They like helping produce his podcast and stuff. And I understand people that don't have black friends, at least in my opinion, like a lot of white people that don't really, they'll be like, oh, just because you have a black friend, you can't be racist. And it's like, yeah, kinda, not like completely.
It makes it a lot harder,
right? Like I don't get it. How everyone's like, no, they made this special cutout for their friend, but they hate like. No, like if you're friends with someone of another race, you're more likely to know more about that race and be like aware. I don't know. It's just
you can
crazy.
Actually be funnier with your jokes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
coming from a place of knowing.
And then Cheryl Underwood, who I think was the best one of the fucking roast, she went on Shane Gillis's podcast and on Kill Tony. Her episode of Kill Tony is one of the best. So if you're gonna watch one, you should watch hers because they just came out like 2 weeks ago, and she's really good on it.
Post roast.
Yes, this is post roast. Okay. So she goes and done Kill Tony, I think like the next week. And then she done Shane Gillis's podcast the next day after Kill Tony. Cause they hold Kill Tony for 2 weeks, but she let it loose that, oh, when we recorded with Tony last night, it's funny. Everyone thinks he's gay, or whatever. She starts just roasting him or whatever. And so she's really good. And so, I just shout out Cheryl Underwood. And then Kevin Hart was really bad, right? Am I wrong? I know I'm biased.
The Comic View days. I knew his. Well, honestly, I mean,
when he done that like boom or whatever,
most of the
like
people that get roasted aren't the greatest when they get up there and do their part at the end.
There's been some good ones,
at
but
least not to me.
Right.
I don't think I've ever really enjoyed the person being roasted at the very end. Like that's usually my least favorite part. So in that way, he kind of lived up to the reputation of all the other roasts.
I hated I love The Office, as you know, and there is a roast episode of The Office, right, where everyone roasts Michael, and he's like, and he gets his feelings hurt, and then he leaves, and he goes sits in the park, and he feeds the ducks or whatever, and then he comes back, and he has a list of roast jokes for everyone else, right, and he says the joke, and he goes, boom, roasted after every joke, and to me, Kevin Hart doing do the gunshot was just his Michael Scott's boom roasted. And I kept looking at my wife like,
acting.
Are you seeing
playing
this?
A role.
Yeah.
He played the role of somebody who was roasted and then roasted other people.
And they weren't good.
It felt like a show once he started doing it.
Yeah, they weren't good at all. And I think some of the best jokes were the racist ones, and that's like why I also got my filter people who cared so much, because it was like the Kevin Hart would be hung from a bonsai tree or lynched from a bonsai. It's so funny because he's short. The joke is not that he's black. It's that he's short. I don't understand how people are getting hung up on this. I think Tony Hinchcliffe has a George Floyd joke, which people got offended about. But then Pete Davidson had the Charlie Kirk joke, and the opposite people, feel the opposite way about that. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad it happened. I laughed at it a lot, but Kevin Hart is still not funny.
Yeah, overall, I enjoyed it. Like, I didn't think it sucked by any means.
Right.
Like I said, I hated the stupid controversy stuff that came from it. It couldn't just exist as a roast.
All right, we're gonna have to hurry up and play a song right now because we got our timer. So check out the next song. We'll introduce it when we're back.
Let's go.
I don't really give a. I don't really give a. I don't really give a. I don't really give a hoot, bitch. I don't really give a. I don't really give a. No hoots, no hoots, no hoots giving. None. I don't really give a hoot, bitch.
Just call me the owl man. I come through kicking like Shaolin. Piss on the chicken, a fat friend. I'm not even acting. She is not attractive, yet I'm still attracted. I need my head examined. Actually, I need some head with a side of salmon and a cup of hot sauce. Soko is an outlaw. Soko is an outlier. How else can he spit liquid and it come out fire? Oh, you a doubtfire. Oh, a Medea. Oh, you transcend whatever gender God gave you. Oh, you a big player, but that's her car. Oh, that's your man, but he live with her. Oh, you a wife now, but you got male friends. And when you mad at hubby, you letting mails in. All in your mailbox with a kumquat. Soko is coming soon. He like to come a lot.
I don't really give a. I don't really give a. I don't really give a. I don't really give a hoot, hoot, bitch.
Nah,
I don't really give a.
you know.
I don't really give a. No hoots, no hoots, no hoots given. I don't really give a hoot, bitch.
I'm getting roadhead on the moped, sipping on some cold red till the motor go dead. So yeah, ho, put on these pro kids. You gon' have to push this bitch, you should've showed less. You asshole, you're so less. Well, that'll make two of us by the time we hit the homestead. In the middle of nowhere, I don't care. Gotta brush this chick off like Mona Lisa. My dick off, no ovaries. A pussy got ovaries, spit on a Clinton, a lazy bitch. Still picture spick over me. Slapping my leg like, oh, the irony. Taking a shot to the big ass head that can hardly see. Kurt, make sure you have the camera on with Charlie Bleed. Fuck, it's starting to be that time of the month when I rhyme what I want. Low response got a bump, I don't remember having. My foot's buzzing cause of all this tough acting. Touch my ass again while sucking my dick, and this fat bitch is having salad while I squirt ranch all over her abdomen.
I don't really give a. I don't really give a. I don't really give a. I don't really give a hoot, bitch. Shit.
That was Southern Comfort,
No
Bradster
who's,
X.
who's giving. Shouts out to BX.
And it's your boy
Bradster X.
H2.
And it's your boy H2 Flatliner.
So yeah, sorry for the hard cut, but we're dealing with technology we refuse to pay
Hey, man,
for.
It happens. But very dope track. It is available now. If you're listening to this, you can hear it on the Spotify's, the YouTubes, the titles, which is my preferred method of streaming. If you're going to stream the music, they pay the most still. Apple Music, same with that. And
What day
not
was
on
your
Bandcamp
album
yet,
supposed to
though.
come out?
Hoping that I can have everything ready to rock by Father's Day. That's on
Gotcha.
a Sunday, so
And
kind
then
of like
did
my
you?
Sunday releases.
And you said this song's already out somewhere?
Yep.
No,
this
I didn't
song
even
is
look it
out
up.
on- yeah, it's out on everything.
Nice. I just assumed.
I especially like my AI artwork. I know AI artwork is a divisive subject sometimes in the music world or in the world period, but I enjoy, putting my words into visuals and
Yeah.
seeing it come out how I imagine it or whatever, instead of just like handing it to somebody and be like, hey, can you make it look like this? Or, I enjoy that, but I get why people wouldn't think that was cool. Same with music.
Yeah,
I
I
get
have mixed feeling. It depends time and place and who it is and what reason and how much money they have for whatever. I think it's different when a independent artist making no money uses it versus like someone with an actual budget that could have paid an artist is probably different. But maybe some people would think that shouldn't matter.
And
I don't know.
And if you're like a creative person, like most artists are creative enough, they just may not have the skills or the technique to use like the programs they would need to use to make good looking artwork. But like if you got a vision in your head that you can suddenly make for the most part, come to life, I think that's just as, it's just like with recording from home. Like before that was a shit thing you could do on your phone. Like people would buy a lot of fucking equipment, learn how to use it just so they can make their vision, come to life without somebody else. And
Right.
I don't know. I think it's cool when you do it that way. Not a fan of any of the fucking AI videos. Like they make me feel a certain way on the inside. And I can't
See,
explain it. Like when I
as
see
long
something
as
that's
it's
just completely
funny,
fake.
if it's like in a meme way, I don't mind the videos, but I don't like, I guess I don't mind the videos less so than other things. Like I get annoyed more at people on Facebook that's like, here's the AI image Facebook made for me. And their only purpose is to use it to post on Facebook. You know what I mean?
No,
I'm
to
like,
make
such a
themselves look
waste.
different. And,
You're like,
yeah.
all right, that's not worth the computing power and all that shit. Like, I don't know. Like, go.
I don't know, when they take like real actors and like, this is the cast of such and such. If they were doing this, I don't know. It just feels weird.
Well, I guess what
watch
really
it.
changed my mind on the AI videos, and maybe that's the one I'm thinking of at the moment, is someone basically just put in like the script of like what really happened on 9/11, right? And then it was like, make this into like a movie, and it was so good because it was like all animated and they had like the different introduce the characters and stuff. But you could tell it was AI because the art style would change and stuff. Script, but obviously someone directed it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
even if it was AI, like a guy directed and put it together in a certain way. Whereas I'm not the biggest fan of like the AI video that's just like more random. You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, I read these lyrics and now it made
like I think the latest one I saw that like annoyed me. I think most likely it was on a Facebook scroll. Was like it was like a thick black girl doing parkour and like jumping and flipping over all kind of shit. I'm like, what? Like why?
yeah.
Why? Like why? Why'd you
Or there'll
take
be
the time
like
to
a
make
fat
this?
guy falling and like knock a whole building over or something. Like
Yeah,
that's the
it's
joke
like-
or whatever. Yeah.
Like why are we taking time to do this? Like is this really entertainment? What it's come to? Like, is this
Right.
all
Well, it's
that's gonna be left in
idiocracy.
the future?
It's
That's sad.
idiocracy. I mean, it's basically that shit when they're like they're watching the TV with all the little squares on it, all the advertisement stuff. One more thing I was gonna tell on our TV shows was another YouTube show I love, and I would recommend it. That maybe you should check it out because I think you might like it. If you're into YouTube shows, is a show called Story Wars. It is from the Legion of Skank guys. That's Big J Okerson, who was on the Kevin Hart roast. So the guy, him and Kevin Hart started together in Philly, like when they were young. I think they used to call Big J and Lil Kev, and then Big J's kept the Big J and Lil Kev dropped the little part. But anyway, Big J Okerson and Louis J Gomez, and then there used to be this guy Dave Smith. They were in the Legion of Skanks, but Dave Smith recently left and joined Tucker Carlson's network because now he's a political guy, not a comedian so much. But anyway, they had the show called Story Wars where it's them two and then three other comics, typically. Sometimes it's other famous people. And then they all submit 3 to 5 stories to whoever, like the producers. And then those get jumbled up. And then there'll be 8 stories picked at random out of all of those stories. And then the story's read. And then the people on the panel, they're trying to guess whose story it is. But it is one of their stories. So that person's trying to make it look like it's not there. You know what I mean? It's like a weird... You're trying to prove it's not your story while guessing who's other. And then it gets like, they're all funny people. So like, it of course leads to a lot of humorous moments. But it's such a good, it is so, me and my wife watch it every week. And we've watched it, I think maybe episode 20. I don't know which one they're on now, but like, I think it's about when we got in. And all the time we're like, this should be on, like, this was a good game show.
Yeah,
like, this is good.
Show.
Yeah. And so I think they'll probably eventually someday get like a Netflix deal for some specials or something. Cause you could even see it where like, 3 cast members from a show come on and they're the other 3 panel. I mean, you could, and them 2 are friends. And so a lot of it, they'll be like, I know it's not his story because I would know this if it was him, but then it'll end up being them. And then he feels so betrayed. Like it is. So, and Big J always loses, and that's always funny. Like, anyway, it's just it's a pretty funny thing. So I would recommend that one if you need a YouTube show to watch. Comes out, I think every Thursday, but I could be wrong on the date. No, but yeah, it'll be the next biggest. I think it's like the next Kill Tony is my thought, honestly, on it.
As far as like YouTube shows that blow up.
Yeah, because Kill Tony's the number one, they say, live podcast, but they're not live. They're recorded 2 weeks earlier. Now they're in front of a live audience, and then they premiere it like it's live, but it's not. You know what I mean? But Tony is a huge WrestleMania fan. I mean, I'm sure you've seen it on Netflix if you have it. They've done a Kill Tony WrestleMania crossover.
I think that was probably the biggest platform I saw it on, just as somebody who doesn't.
I refuse to watch it.
Knowing about it from you
because the fans.
I didn't even watch it, but I saw the promo for it.
Well, the fans online say it's the worst episode, and so I just was like, I'm not gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Because it probably was like produced in conjunction with WWE.
Yeah. I think half the people are wrestlers. They come out and try to stand up, and so I mean, if you're into wrestling, I bet it's good. To see the format or whatever. And all the live shows are the worst. Like he does a lot of arena shows, like a handful of times a year. And those are always worse than the ones that are in the comedy club. They're just better in the comedy club.
How do you I know you love the show. How do you feel about his stand-ups? Do you generally like his stand-up?
I haven't seen his stand-up in a long time. All of his stuff's removed.
I know he's got a new one coming to Netflix.
I'm excited about his new one. I'll be honest. My thought most of the time is I think Tony's ego's too high. I think he's a good roast comic. I mean, that's what he does. That's what he's always been known for. I don't think he has a stand-up hour that's so special that he can really be talking shit to these people the way he does on his show. Where I'm like, who the fuck are you? What have you done? Like, that is my thought a lot of times. Like, yes, you've gotten famous off this show that uses other people, but like not off your stand-up material. Like, there is a part of me that thinks I'll watch that if I'm being a hater of Tony Hinchcliffe. But maybe this hour's just so good. Maybe he's gonna put himself on the map or whatever. But like, a lot of the people he has on his podcast have, classic specials. You know what I mean? And so you're like, well, I mean, Shane Gillis only has one on Netflix. He has one on YouTube. They're both like 8 or really aboves, like, and like, I mean, they're so good. Like Dave Chappelle hangs out with Shane Gillis. He doesn't hang out with now I think Shane and Tony hang out together. And I think also whereas Tony's like really nice, not on camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, he's an asshole for the persona.
Asshole, yeah. He's got to keep it going.
I get annoyed when I'm watching it because someone will say something in their minute and then he'll be talking shit about them, but then he'll ask them a question and it's something they said in their minute. And it's like, you weren't even fucking listening. You're so judgmental. So he's a little Simon Cowlish. You're kind of rooting against Tony when you're watching.
Yeah, he's a little rude.
Yeah. But
I say what that makes me think of is like, I still feel like I'm a huge Josh Johnson fan. but only in clips. Like so far, I've watched 2 of his specials, and like they both were misses for me. So I'm like, okay, I only love you in spurts.
Right.
Like you're great in spurts with like jokes, but like once you got to do a whole thing, like both his specials have not been good to me.
Yeah. I mean, I
But
think
I'm
there is
still a
an
big
art to
fan.
it.
Like I think he's hilarious. Like,
Well, it's like Joe Rogan's not very good at stand-up comedy. I mean, that's that's everyone's opinion. But I still remember a handful of his bits from his different specials. So I'm like, that counts for something, you know. But he's probably better. He'd probably be better in clips, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I know people will give him a lot of shit. And then there's someone like Stavros, who's fairly new to stand-up, and he has a couple specials, and I watch them and I like them, but it's like they could be better because he's not. He hasn't done it long enough, I guess, maybe to like make it more solid, and glue it together. I don't know. But,
yeah, he just doesn't have it all the way polished out.
But I'm excited. Bobby Lee has a stand-up special coming out.
Oh yeah, Bobby Lee
for the first time ever or whatever. So I'm gonna have to check that one out because I was really I would say I've been a fan. I've watched him obviously on Mad TV back in the day, but Harold and Kumar was one of my go-to movies in college because that was the time where like you just watch your DVDs and then you're like, what do I have? And you throw one in because you didn't have anything else to watch. There's no cable or whatever. You weren't paying for that. And so I watched Harold and Kumar so many times. And then
it's been way
Bobby
too
Lee's
long since we've had one of those too.
Yeah.
That you can like, that universally everybody's like, no, that's one of those. Like it made a mark. Like, I don't know.
I just wonder if you could even make a stoner movie well now because it's legal in so many places. Does that take away from it in some way? I don't know. You know, I feel like that was part of the stoner movie is they're doing illegal things, you know? And so
being afraid in front of cops and shit like that.
Right. Well, maybe they could pull it off.
I think they could if they tried. I don't know. The way entertainment is now, I don't think they want to try to make classics. Like you just get by and you get it out as much as you can.
Right.
It's just been a long time like that. Like it's been a while since we had like a Super Troopers. Like everything I'm thinking of is like 20 plus years.
Yeah, Super Troopers is another one. Like you just throw it on and one that's kind of older, but it was known as Days of Confused. I can put Days of Confused on just at any time and be like, it's just a background show and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's gonna be good shit. Every time you look up at it, you're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
So,
and
they don't do it like that, man.
All right, let's go over some random other stuff I have here that I put underneath SoCo. Here's my first thing that's less serious. Songs that get stuck in your head for no reason. I've really been struggling with this lately where like I just will have these songs stuck in, I guess because I'm not making new music. And so because of that, like my songs aren't stuck in my head. When I'm making music, I'm waking up in the middle of the night and my lyrics are just going through my head that I just recorded because
I'm at that point right now because I keep listening to my album.
Exactly. And so, but then when I'm off of that time period, I guess like it just the brain's used to the songs being stuck in your head. So for weeks, I had the song 2 Dozen Roses, which is a country song. I don't even listen to country music. And I was like, where did this come from? And I can't quit singing this stupid fucking song. And then the other day, I all day kept singing the Ignition remix. I was just like, I haven't listened to that song in probably 4 years or something, you know, and since last time it just came up, and I was like, where is this coming from?
Funny.
And then there's this young kid he's like the new little Bow Wow, if you will. His name's Young Roddo on TikTok. He's blowing up. He's a little black kid. He's 9 years old, and he is so good. Now, part of me thinks he's AI. A lot of people think he is, but I want to believe he's real, you know? So
you want to believe
he has 3 or 4 songs. They've been putting out videos with him and his family and him and his classmates to prove he's real, to show he's not AI. But he has,
which could also be AI
100%.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah. I mean,
shit. So
I mean,
funny,
he has this, I want to say is the first song, you can't really sing it because it makes you sound like a pedophile if you're an adult, but the premise of the song, he's like, I'm in love with the girl from the 6th grade and I'm only 9. You know, it's that whole song. And then he's had like 4 other like hits and it's like they're all so good and he's like just singing, you know. And now another part like you got to sing there because I could sing good too when I was 9 and then your voice changes and then you can't.
Yep.
You know, so you got to get it.
So is he like so does he give you Bieber vibes at all? Were you around for when Bieber first came
I remember
on the
when
scene
Bieber first blew up. I was always a little confused by his, like, how everyone thought he was hot because I feel like I knew 4 guys in my class that looked like Justin Bieber. I mean, like, everyone I looked like Justin Bieber where I'm from, and everyone's like, oh, he's so hot. I'm like, this is just normal guys.
It's just a kid.
Yeah.
He's a regular white kid.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, why are y'all freaking out of it? I mean, I think I liked Bieber's singing ability. I've always been impressed, but I never listened to much of him until well, man, what's the song he has where I keep wanting to say "fuck you," but that's the goddamn Gnarls Barkley song or whatever, CeeLo Green song. But it's something about love yourself. I think it was originally called "Fuck Yourself." So I like the Justin Bieber song "Love Yourself," but outside of that, I haven't really listened to much of him. But yeah, there has a little bit of like this kid could blow up. One of his little viral songs is about, and the beat is just like it's so minimal, so it's really just an acapella. But he mentions in it that his how labels are offering him a couple mil, but it's cool because his parents already put back a couple mil, and everyone just think that line's so good. And I'm like, that's the worst line of anything he's ever said. But all the comments like, oh, it's cold. His parents saved him $2 million. And I'm like, okay, but I mean, that's not an accomplishment of, I don't know. He also has one that just shouts out his mom like 18 times. So like, well, I think his mom ghost wrote this one. And so,
oh, shit, that's funny.
Yeah.
That would be good as if like,
I do think his dad ghost wrote okay, so I don't think he's AI. I think his dad rather knows a really good producer and mixer or is one. And then they ghost wrote him
to
these.
Make it for a long time. And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to transfer all my skills to my son.
Yeah, I he's great.
And go that route. I can see that.
I mean, look at Lil Romeo. That's what happened with him, basically.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
But it is so that I sing these goddamn young Roddo songs all the time. And then I keep telling myself, I'm like, God damn it, I can't quit thinking about this dumb little Roddo because he's so good. But they're also the clips cut off right before the verse is done. So like you don't even get the full song. It's just like a little verse. So there's a part of that that's also like, I don't know, something about this is fishy.
Teasers.
Yeah. But anyway, he's working hard out there. Now, in a serious black news, if you will, is this Karmelo Anthony case is about to go off. Now, I hate the fact that there's two Carmelo Anthonys. There's Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player, of course, but there's the other one, the kid that stabbed the white kid at the track meet in Texas a couple years ago, right? Yep. And then what really set me off at that time, not set me off, but made me be like, what? This is fucking weird, is that his family got raised like millions of dollars because he stabbed and killed somebody. And then like the sort of online black community was like, we got to support this young black man. They're going to railroad him in court. And it's like, he stabbed and killed someone. What are we talking about? So this family gets all these millions of dollars. They go and buy him a new house and cars. And I'm like, what does this do for him? It's just crazy, right? It's crazy to me that's how the response is. This is the one
where the defense was that they were saying racist stuff. Or he was in their area, they came to his area. Like, wasn't it like a stadium thing or something?
You're right. So they're at a track meet. This kid was not at the track meet. So Carmelo Anthony, I understand he's the black kid here, but he was not at the track meet. He skipped school. He should have been in school and he was skipping class. And then he went to this track meet and then he got in a tent of these other kids that asked him to leave. At least that's what all the witnesses say. You know, that's all I can go off is what
that's how I remember it too.
Is they all told him to leave. I think he got mad that they didn't let him hang out there. It got violent, and then he stabbed someone. So even, I don't know, at the minimal, that's manslaughter. I mean, that just is what it is. So if everyone be like, no, he should be allowed to stab that guy because they said something racist, is a crazy defense. I mean, even if there's no evidence they said anything racist, but you could say, well, it's Texas, they're white kids, they probably did. Okay, even if they did, you can't kill someone over it. Like that's crazy. That's crazy.
You can't stabby.
Especially in a place where like freedom of speech or whatever. And I know I've made this argument many times on here and none of my black friends agree with me. I think we live in a weird paradox, or I don't know if that's the right word here, but we'll go with it, of like, if someone calls you the N-word, then you get to be really mad and violent. And then the racist white guy goes, yeah, look at all these violent black people. And they say all these horrible things about you. And they go, we are not. How dare you? And they go, aha, we're going to call you this one word and prove ourselves right. And then you go in this like sort of circle where I'm like, I don't think that could be an excuse for violence because it just perpetuates the racist guy going to use that word to make it violent so they can then call you violent for, I don't know. It's just like this weird logical loop of a circle to where I'm like, I don't think you should be cool with it, but maybe we can't attack people over it. I don't know. That's, I guess, where I land there.
It's definitely one of like the blurriest, most like controversial lines I think we have in real life.
Yeah, well, it's just a unique thing. No other race has a word that they refuse to allow anyone else to say while they say it a lot. And I don't even care that they say it. Like, again, it has never, if I've never in my life been like, God, I gotta say that word. I'm just saying it's like an outside perspective. It seems counterproductive to like the goodness of.
I don't remember what I saw. There's a bit about that. It was like, I want to say it. And it's like it's a random white guy. He's like, I really want to say it.
The only time I would say like I want to
like
is in my brain.
Know,
like it comes because I do watch a lot of black content, if you will. So there is a time like I'm thinking of the Chappelle Show and a line he says, and in my head that pops up. It's like, oh, I can actually, that is not going to leave the mouth, but it is funny. And I'm like, ooh, if I could say that out loud to a black friend who understood it, they would laugh and it would be a good time. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to just say it on a podcast because that is crazy. You know what I mean? So maybe in those scenarios, but that is a very much like if I'm quoting something.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's one of the, there's nothing like it. It's just unique. Like it's a unique blurry line that doesn't really exist anywhere.
I like the new thing. I don't believe this, but they're like, people are trying to say that it actually comes from this African royalty called the Negros, and that's what it's a reference to. And so like there's a certain group that's trying to take ownership of it and be like, no, we've been calling each other royalty the whole time. And it's like, then why we get mad at people? Obviously that's not what you think.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it just started as like a racist guy thing.
I think it is as small as Negro is black and Spanish. Spanish had the largest slave trade at one point in time. They were Negroes, and then it gets shortened, you know, or changed through some sort of dialects.
Southern Crackerized, if you will, and that's what came out. Like the hard ER came with it.
Yeah, and it's
you know, words that once you have certain intent, the way you say a word. Like,
I agree.
I think you can make any word sound like that.
Right,
like,
I've said that for years on here. I think
you gotta put the intent on it. Like it's like even taking race out of it. Like you could call somebody who raps a rapper in a certain way.
Yeah,
that'll just make it sound offensive. Like you're speaking about them in an ill way, like a not good way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you say about anyone's profession. Fucking lawyer.
Words.
He's got
there you go.
Cops. Fucking cops.
Oh, look at the lawyer over there. See, like you can do it with anything.
Yeah, you can. That's what works. Man, I thought I had something to connect to that, but I'm, you know, my fucking have no goddamn short-term memory. So it
happens to me all the time. There was some shit I was trying to remember for the longest, and then like eventually I did, but it was like 3 topics later. It's how it goes.
Yeah, well, when I'm mixing this, I'll be like, right there, I was gonna say this thing, but who knows? So anyway, the Karmelo Anthony thing was about to start. I mentioned that because I saw people now already being like, there was no black jurors selected, so therefore it should be a mistrial. I don't know if that's, I mean,
I don't know. I feel like that's happened a lot.
It has,
like in
and it's
trial history.
It is because the way jurors are selected,
ends up happening.
You know, the attorneys get to choose and negate certain ones, and they come to a deal with what they get left with, and it's all strange.
If you're thinking about who's going to be most sympathetic, who comes to mind?
Yeah,
like,
so
that's the other side's attorney.
I do think people are already going to be upset no matter what happens there, because if he is found guilty, like, because the jury, where I'm like, I mean, there's a dead person.
Oh,
and he killed him.
Do you think we have this generation's OJ possibly if we get a certain verdict?
Well, I think you got to be a lot more famous. I mean, the thing that makes OJ so
he's regular
different is OJ used to be called the white black guy. Before this happened, he was like, OJ's not really black. Yeah, he's one of us.
I'm OJ.
You know?
Well, he said it. Yeah, he said, I'm not black. I'm OJ.
Exactly. And so he lived this like weird, like I'm not really black line. And then when this happened, it turned real like black people supported him still, you know? And then they were like, he ain't guilty. How dare you? And then he all of a sudden was like, thank you. I don't know. He like mended fences with the black community, I guess, in some way. It was all very interesting. Another thing I have about racism here on my list. Do you think America just seems racist because we're like one of the only countries with a bunch of races? Because I think that's the most obvious thing. Like when anyone mentions another country, they'll be like, oh yeah, well, and whatever. And you're like, yeah, well, in Japan, they're fucking 98% Japanese.
Yeah,
like, what
it's not other races. Like,
yeah, of course it doesn't come up as much.
They don't have other races that come over there. Like to them, it's like another country's coming over. Like they don't even look at you as a race. You're an American. Yeah. Or you're, you know what I mean? Like you're not black or white. Like it's just like, oh, American.
And then like all northern,
they might be that kind of
European countries
regionist
are like all white, very little of other races. And then African countries are mainly African. You know what I mean? Not many. In South Africa, I guess, and as half white or whatever, and they have a lot of problems. So I guess that goes into the thing. Now I think Brazil is very multicultural, and they get along pretty well. So I guess that would be the example. But I don't
One that
know as
works
much
that's
about
similar, but not really.
South America, to be honest. That is definitely not taught to us at all. Any South American culture is not brought up in our schools. Not that I'm aware of. I would say that's the one talked about least is South America out of all of the continents.
It doesn't really get talked about. Like, it almost gets treated like it's all jungle. And I get it's a lot of jungle. Like, it doesn't get treated like it has like big cities or anything.
I think
Maybe
Brazil is
know
the
a lot.
size of the United States. And I think they have other huge cities. It's just they don't all speak English. No one there speaks English. So it's just like we ignore them, I guess. So anyway, it's interesting. Because like, a lot about Australia and Asia and Russia. Like, all the other stuff, it comes up at some time. And like no one ever talks about South America. Just hit me. You talk about the Mayans, I guess, a little bit if you're getting cool.
You know what else too, though? I think what that has in common is like, I think all those places you name also have like more of an entertainment based like structure. Like they all have their little Hollywoods kind of like their entertainment sectors. I don't think South America really has that as much. Like they've got events and like parades.
I actually think I figured it out. When you saying that makes sense. I think they were probably more influenced by Russia and communism during that Cold War time period. And we're unaware of that because they don't tell us that sort of shit. And so we probably haven't blackballed them in some way. Like you actually, and I know they have through video games, they have a lot of tariffs on outside exports. So like the Sega Genesis is really popular still in Brazil because they had a Sega factory in Brazil, so they didn't have to pay the tariffs. But like I think a new video game system there's like $5,000-$10,000 or something, like some crazy number. Yeah, it's like really rich.
Damn.
So like I bet they are just shielded from our cultural influence.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Shielded. That's the perfect word.
Yeah.
And so like they're shielded from our culture, so we don't really care about theirs.
Right. And the only time we hear about them in history is when they talk about the Spanish coming and enslaving all of them. You know what I mean? And then they come up to the North America, and then we never hear about what happened down there ever again. My wife went to South America when right after she graduated college because she had a friend from high school whose family was from Ecuador, I think. And so they went there, and then Machu Picchu and the Amazon rainforest and all kinds of, random places. So randomly we watching some. She goes, "Oh, I've been there." And I'm like, "Oh, awesome. That's cool." I haven't been anywhere. She's also been to Rome with some school trip. So if we're ever watching something that's like some ancient ass things there. Yeah. I ain't trying to leave the country.
And I don't have a desire either, though.
Me either.
Like, it is what it is. It's like I'm who I am.
If anything, I might try to go to another state, better weather, but outside of that, I don't. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, it's never appealed to me. I've never wanted to be abroad or a woman.
Yeah, I like my penis just fine. Now that's a perfect thing for you to say there, but we're gonna save it because we're gonna play a song and we'll come back for this next question I have. The next song we're going with is from the homie Rocky616.
Rocky.
And now I sent him this beat, I don't know when, sometime somewhat recently. And then he sent it back, was like, "I'm working on it." And then he sent it to me. Then he sent it back here. Now, I do feel like I don't want to make any promises. I could imagine me doing doing a verse on this for a remix, possibly.
Yeah.
But we'll see if I ever feel musical again or if you'd even want me to, but we're going to give it the name of the song.
I'm sad that I don't like. And it's a time thing. I don't think it's a lack of passion thing. It's definitely a time thing for me. I never feel like I have enough time to just sit down and do what I think I could do or should do.
Yeah, well, I
don't know.
Like anything else with me, I just have, if I get obsessive for a week, then I can get it all done. But if not, then it's going to be hard.
That's true.
Yeah, so anyway, this song isn't on streamers yet, but I'm sure it will be soon. So anyway, fuck it. Rocky616, produced by me. Let's give it a listen.
Let's go.
And the Mo makes beats.
Pulling my way, but the way ain't great, so fuck it. I don't really care anyway, I'ma be like, fuck it. Pulling my way, but the way ain't great, so fuck it. I don't really care what you do, cause I feel like, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Now how the fuck can you stand there and talk to me honestly? Speaking is bothering me, bitch stuck in poverty. Fuck it, you do what you want to me. I'll walk away with the knowledge of none and a gun that is pressed to my head. That's what it feels like when I am embedded instead of asleep, full peaceful rest. I'm stuck in a panic, just gripping my chest like why die? Dying again. I don't need friends if my goal is the end. Burning the candle at each of its ends till it reaches the middle and burns me again. I got a hole in my boat, but I gotta go float. Thinking of sinking is taking its toll. Further down the road is my body all bloodied. I'm food for the crows. Whoa, fuck it, though. Fuck it. I don't really care anyway. I'ma be like, fuck it. Pulling my weight, but the weight ain't great, so fuck it. I don't really care what you do, cause I feel like, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. I don't really care anyway, I'ma be like, pulling my weight, but the weight ain't great, so fuck it. I don't really care what you do, cause I feel like,
Rocky
616.
616. I'll say this about Rocky, and I think I've said it before when we played his music. I like his music so much because when I hear his delivery, his subjects, the way he does his hooks, to me, and I don't listen to all music going on, modern or whatever, but to me, it never sounds like he's trying to sound like something else. Like he's just doing the music that he wants to make, knows how to make. Like it don't sound like he's imitating a certain wave or anything like that. And that's what I like about everybody I fuck with, honestly. Like
Right.
you, Brad, Nasty, like all the people I listen to a lot is because y'all don't sound like y'all are trying to sound like a version of this person who's way up here or more known. Like
Right.
that, I enjoy that. And then I hear other people who I'm like, oh, you sound like such and such, and you're actively trying to. And I know that because I can listen to another song of yours from the past or later on, and now you're trying to sound like this person for
Right.
that sound. And like, I don't know, it just takes away the genuineness. But Rocky is genuine. That's what all that shit really means.
Hell yeah, I agree. And I really like the beat I made there. I really like using sirens and other sound effects that aren't like instruments necessarily.
Like the gun clicks
yeah.
on some of the Nasty songs.
I just think
cool.
it adds a lot to them. And in that one, I'm sure if I had to guess, I probably would have sent it to Brad, and then he'd be like, I can't, my throat's still fucked up. And then I sent it, and I was like, I could send it to Nasty because I could hear him doing that too. But then it really sounded like something Rocky would do because I've sent him a couple others, and so it really fit his style, I thought. And honestly, I really liked the like little weird hook area with the da 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 like little snare parts, and but it just isn't my style. I'm sure I wanted to keep it, but so I'm glad it worked out, and he made some with it. Shit.
Nah, you definitely you had a good ear for who would do well on that beat because he was perfect for it. It sound, if I didn't know better or just know how you do things, I would think you sat there and made that with him for him. You know what I mean? It's like one of those that fits just that well.
No, I'm basically. There's been a couple times I went on my way to try to make a certain beat for someone, or I've like went in with a certain, like, I'm gonna try to do this thing, but that might be 2% of the time, if maybe less. Like in general, I just sit down and start fucking with shit, and then whatever comes out comes out. Like even when I'm sampling stuff, I just have a folder full of random stuff that I've wanted to sample, and I just click through. I'm like, all right, today it's this one's turn. And then I just, there's not as much thought put into it. But I've said many times on the podcast, that's the way I do all art. So when I was in college and I had an art minor and I had to go like in painting or ceramics or anything else like that the assignment is, I just start and then you figure it out. I can't draw a picture with like an image in mind at the end. I'm like, I'll just have to start drawing and see what happens. Yeah.
You got to start the journey and then you get there.
So I'm probably missing whatever that is in art that might make me better in some way. But I like where it's kind of related to our jobs, we're like, it sucks not knowing shit, because like I like where I've gotten to in making music that I can just sit down and not really paying that close attention, make something pretty cool just off muscle memory, like
just doing it.
And so like I will like if that ever happens at my new job role, you know what I mean? Like where I can not think about it. So and this happens if you ever use like Photoshop or any software like that. If you just get familiar with something, you can become more creative, in those roles. So anyway, shout out Rocky 616. Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Rocky.
all that shit.
Rocky loves Emily.
Exactly. That if that's not sampled for your next song,
You got to do it, man. You got to do it. Even if you don't know the movie, learn it, and it'll fit.
All right,
and
and
it'll
then
be a classic.
we were talking about genders earlier, and something that I was like, this would relate perfectly. So y'all just imagine we're in that conversation that I already forgot, and I'll say, I know you are religious. You go to church and you have your belief system, but something that I've always been, even when I was more religious, I was always a little confused with, is why everyone thinks God is a man, or that God has a gender at all. And then if you argue with someone, you go, I actually think God's a woman. There's a lot of more Christian people like, no, it's the Father, and they get like real serious, like, and then you get to like, oh, so he has a dick. And then, you get in that whole thing. So, I just think it makes more sense if it's a woman. Like if I'm creating the lore for whatever, women give birth to life. It makes more sense that it's a woman in that way, like story wise, but even then it probably makes more sense if you think it's this being that created everything, that it's nothing. It's not a gender. It's not, it's non-binary, if you will.
Yeah. It's an entity.
Yeah. It's interesting how people get, I guess, I think it's a perfect example of how like what I like about religion and religious texts and sacred stuff is like how it is also like through human lenses. And so you can compare different cultures and societies and be like, oh, I wonder, what's connective and what's, that stuff gets interesting, like the ancient sort of like, what did it all come from? But I think a lot of people that I at least was raised around is like, no, this story is literal. And it says he's the Father, so therefore he's a man, and they just can't let go of that part because that's what they know. You know what I mean? It's like if they let go of that part, they might have to let go of another part or something. So I get interested in these things. Probably where I live though too. I'm surrounded by.
Because I'm sure in some culture, like father just means like head of or leader. Like I'm sure there's somewhere where like that word doesn't literally mean male dad of child. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure father is like a leader or a
well, yeah, different culture. I mean,
overseeing person or being or whatever. Like I'm sure we just take it very literal.
Yeah, let's say
because of how we use it.
It's all cultural too. Like we're in a, you're supposed to be in a monotonous relationship, nuclear family. That's, all of our values here. So like, that's what's going to come out like from society into the religious things. But I know there's this one tribe in Africa that you just watch these National Geographic things. It would be like, different cultures of the world. And theirs is like the woman will just get pregnant and then her brother becomes the father. Not genetically, of course, but like her brothers raise the kids like the father.
Yeah.
And that's how that tribe works. You know what I mean? And then that woman can have sex with whoever she wants to get pregnant, and it's no one's business. And a guy will come back and she gets knocked up. And then when that baby's born, her brothers raise it. And then you're like, that's just how and to us, that's crazy, but it's like, that's just how. So to them, I'm sure father does not mean what it means to us. You know what I mean? Like that's literally a different person or whatever. So, I think sometimes we put our modern values, or not even modern, just our values that we have on other people. Where I'm like, well, that's just because we were raised to believe it. I don't know. And that's just you are what you are.
Even even just push, like we push what it, like how we feel about our life and our society into religion, period. Like we make it fit what we want it to fit to,
right,
go with whatever agenda is going on.
I think a perfect example, and I'm all for it actually, which is funny to me. I'm like, it's like this example, but I remember when it kind of shifted where they were like, it's okay to be gay and go to church, which I agree with. I think you should be able to be gay and be religious and that'd be fine. But there was a time where people were like, no, you can't be religious and gay. You know what I mean? Like it was this thing, but like because
divide
over time, they're like,
exist with the other.
We want the money from these people, so we're gonna let them in, or whatever the reasoning is behind the scene, or they were like, God's love would not care, or God made them that way, or whatever the case may be. People came around to being like, it's fine, or like women priests. That was a thing that I know within our lifetime has changed, where there used to be no Catholic priests that were women, and people were like real against it, and they let a couple in. We're like, they're fine. And now some people really care about that, and some don't. I don't know. It's just interesting how you're right. It's very quickly like it can change. I would say
and it goes the other way too, where like people who are of like a certain community are like, oh, well, if you're one of us, then you can't be religious because they don't accept us. Like they all don't accept us. So how could you believe in God? You know what I mean? How can you say you're gay and you believe in God? Like there's a lot
right
on that side too. So it goes both ways. I think it always does, like with politics.
Right.
Like
I
where
think you
both
see a
sides
lot
have
more
their
politics
weird
probably
thing.
where it's like, how can you be black and a Republican? Don't you,
Exactly.
you
Yep.
know?
Shit like
And
that
then that
too.
part goes, Abraham Lincoln was a Republican. And everyone goes, they changed after the Ronald Reagan administration.
Yeah, and then it goes back to
They just
the
have the
circular argument of
yeah, and you're like, well,
was it really a Republican back then?
yeah. And then and here's the thing is while any politician's running for an election, they are going to say they are right. You know, the Democrats have failed the black community, but guess what? The Republicans are going to fail you too because they're not going to do anything to help you because no one in government's helping people anymore. That's not what they're there for. They're to help corporations. That's what they're there for.
Their immediate families.
Yeah.
Like they figured out how to make the government work for them. Maybe they always made it work for
But
them. Like,
anytime
maybe
you're
that's
the
benefit of
outsider
being in
wanting to get
government.
in, yeah, you can point at everything they do wrong because obviously they do a lot wrong, but literally no one fixes it once they get in. So it just doesn't matter. You're like, okay, yeah, I guess so. It's kind of like they all trade stocks, you know, and they finally had something up to like make them where they couldn't do insider trading. And the Speaker of the House goes, well, come on, like they're supposed to live off $250,000 a year. That's ridiculous.
Like,
You're like,
yes, that's exactly what they're supposed to do.
yeah, it's crazy. It's great that people do shit. See if I have anything else random on here we can talk about. Oh, here's something because you're a parent and I am not. And I understand, you know, the other day I saw where like a kid was kidnapped or something. And my first thought is like, I imagine myself as the kid that got kidnapped. You know what I mean? Because I don't have kids. Whereas if you're a parent, you're immediately like, oh, if I was that parent, I would be so worried, you know. But I'm gonna be like, if I was that kid, what would I do? You know, because I'm still the youngest of my line of genes, if you will. They die with me at the moment.
I think I always like go to like the place that like causes me the worst fear in my heart is like if it were mine, like and not thinking about how I would feel, but how they would feel being kidnapped.
Right.
Like that's the part that like gets to me and bothers me when I think about that stuff is like hoping somebody's gonna come get you or save you, and then knowing as the parent that I have no idea where to start to save you. You know what I mean? Like that shit is crazy,
right,
and scary.
Another crazy, scary thing I saw. I need to get more information about it because I wrote here need more information about this, but I didn't. There was some Asian store worker who killed this black kid. He was like 14 years old. It was basically just out of Don't Be a Menace or whatever the one they're referencing. I always forget what it's from. Where like, you know, black kids in the store and there's footage of this and the Asian woman's following him around the store because they think he's going to steal something. And then they tell him to empty his pockets and he says he has nothing. I don't know if he does or not. You know, I'm not sure how it ended there, but he says he has nothing. And he's like, I have, you know, and you can see on the video. And then as soon as he gets out of the store, he starts walking away from the store. And then an Asian man comes out and then the kid takes off running. And then they chase him down and kill the kid.
Gee.
And then I want to say that the court case it's not going forward or something's happening where you're like, oh man, that's pretty fucked up. But it's like anytime I've said if a cop shoots someone in the back or anyone else chases someone down, that is not self-defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you killed that person. You went out of your way to kill that person.
After, even if it turns out they did whatever they did, you're not supposed to go after them.
Right. And so I need more information about it, but it is interesting. And then it led to people online being like, black people being like, we're going to start boycotting Asian stores because, you know, that's a tactic. And then some Asian stores be like, we'll be glad if y'all don't come back. You know, then they got fucking race war between the blacks and Asians on the internet. And you're like, God damn, it just, this is what the man wants. They want y'all at each other's throats while the rich people keep all the money, all the resources. Anyway, so sad things in the world. Sad things.
Very sad, man. Very sad.
Here's I'll end on something very non-serious, but just a random rant. I get really annoyed at people that back into parking spots. So hopefully you're not one of these people.
No, I'm definitely a pull in and then I back out.
Yeah, and the only time I'll forgive it is if you have a truck with a pretty long truck bed, because then you can get it, you know, you can get more into the parking space. But even then, a lot of times you're going to just be covering up a sidewalk, and then I'm going to be annoyed at you on that end. So either way, just get a smaller truck. But I get really annoyed at this because they're always in my way. You know what I mean? They're like, here, let me take an extra 30 seconds while I back into this parking spot, and you have to sit there and wait for me to do that. And you go, why do you do that? And I go, it saves time when I'm leaving. And I'm like, well, it didn't save fucking time when you got here. I don't. This is the fucking daylight savings time thing. It's like if we move the hour, it's more time. No, it's not. You're just, oh my God, it makes me so annoyed.
And see, like me, I'm usually more ready to get to where I'm at. Like once I leave, it's over, and so like I don't have a clock anymore.
I agree.
So I'm like, all right, I can back out. I don't care. Like I'd rather pull in fast, get into where I'm going, get done, and I'm fine with the leaving part. Now I'm just going home.
Yeah, you gotta set your podcast or music up. You get the AC. You got time to get things situated when you're leaving. You ain't no rush.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
With you on that.
It's a certain type of personality, and I don't like it. So we need to look into that. All right, you got anything before we let go here? Because they're going to kick us off again here in a second. So
that is true. I will say this: the first A2thaMo Makes Beats to be turned into a music video is coming very soon.
Oh shit!
The Pure Unique song by Sir Nasty will be a music video by the end of this month. It's already been shot. It's with an editor now, so we got a music video premiere that I'm hoping. I know you said you're going to be cutting back on the pod, but hopefully, if nothing else, even if the pod ended today and this was the last episode, you can do a special episode where you premiere that video, because I think it's extra special because it is an A2thaMo Makes Beats.
For sure.
Beat on this one, so I think that's awesome.
Right now, I have a few scheduled. I don't know if I'll do them all, but I have enough that goes up through the end of the Life of the Legend 2 album, and then one more that I would need one for, so we could probably put on that one. I would like to make it to 55 before the end of the summer, and then maybe have to slow down more. The summer I have a lot of time off, so I'm going to try to record some, but we'll see. I don't know what all can get done. So y'all just be grateful for what you get.
Hey, be happy with what you get, man.
That's right.
We'll give you what we can when we can.
That's right. All right, man. Appreciate you being on, and we'll cut all the racisms like normal.
That's always our best segments, man.
Yeah, I don't think I cut too much. I sometimes get us down underneath 2 hours because sometimes we go over that, but we didn't today. So good job, us.
Nah, I think we're good, man. I think we're good, and I think the way we just recorded today is probably one of the most comfortable I've been able to do. Hopefully the camera can work better. I got a feeling if I'd have restarted this laptop, it probably would have worked better, but I did not want to do that shit. I got way too much shit open on it. So
right.
I think we made it work.
Yeah, and we got one of your family members walking by in the background at one time, so that'll be exciting for people to figure out. And we're in here on one of my songs, I believe. Let me see which one so people know. It's actually my favorite song, probably off of Indifference. It resonates the most. It's called 30 something. And it's just depressing, and that's what I like. So
you're in your bag, man. You're in your bag.
So anyway, 30 something Mo, check it out, and Soko, peace.
Holla, Mo, appreciate you.
A2thaMo Makes Beats.
30-something and fuck, I'm almost in my 40s. Wanna give up because everyone annoy me. Didn't do enough and now it's too late. I'm sorry. So tough being someone that you already hate. I hate myself, or at least what I've turned into. How did this happen after everything I've been through? I can't fake it, it ain't bad as I make it. I just mistaken about my chances that I make it. When did I get stupid? How'd I get so boring? Isolate myself and now everyone ignore him. Got a part in it, cause like I probably started it. Trying to forget everything, so I keep taking harder hits. Do I got a problem? Fuck yeah, probably. But I can't afford it, so like you can't stop me. Probably never address it, like a letter never melt. Everything ends depression, trust me, it never fails. The feeling swells as time keeps passing. It feels like hell just because nothing's happened. I used to be cool with have all my friends bragging. Now they asking how long you gonna keep on rapping. Cause I'm 30-something and fuck, I'm almost in my 40s. Wanna give up because everyone annoy me. Didn't do enough and now it's too late. So tough being someone that you already hate. 30-something and fuck, I'm almost in my 40s. Wanna give up because everyone annoy me. Didn't do enough and now it's too late. So tough being someone that you already hate. But that's cool, cause I can't fake the love. And people get heated, cause well, that's the nature of life, art, music, and especially rap. But jealousy lead to depression, and that's a deadly trap. Cause none of these dreams will ever really hit you back. You tryna squeeze a trigger, but it need a gentle tap. Barrel to your head, you thinking, then you pull it back. You pussy out, you thinking, wait, like, man, what the fuck was that? Something inside me broken, I need to share it, but it's a no win. When I talk about it, go silent with my mouth open. I'm stuck hoping that I win in the end. Cause it's a little too late for me to try and start again. Like I don't know if I want fans or if I'm looking for friends. Half of me thinks I'm the man, the other wants it to all in. If everyone jump off a bridge, am I just following trends? For what it's worth, I'm jumping first straight into the shallow end. But I'm 30-something and fuck, I'm almost in my 40s. Wanna give up because everyone annoy me. Didn't do enough and now it's too late. So tough being someone that you already hate. 30-something and fuck, I'm almost in my 40s. Wanna give up because everyone annoy me. Didn't do enough and now it's too late. So tough being someone that you already hate.